I think we try to do the same things that everybody else in IR tries to do. We try to treat all investors equally. We spend a lot of time with them. We understand it's a 24/7, 365 job, and no matter what's going on, we try really hard to help people understand the company. Part of the philosophy is really trying to stay away from preaching or spinning things or trying to always come out in a positive light. Instead, just understanding that investors have lots of different ways of investing, and I don't care as much about that. I just care about giving them the information, letting them make their own decisions, and it seems to have worked fairly well. Well, there's no question healthcare in general, from a sector rotation standpoint, has been a tough investment environment over the last couple of years. We get that. There's been a great deal of multiple compression across the group. That makes a lot of investors anxious, because no matter what, there are a lot of people losing a lot of money out there. We try to appreciate that, but at the same time, we try to spend a lot of our time managing the business. Our entire management team, concentrates much more on, making new products, helping patients, trying to do the right thing from that standpoint. And our philosophy is, the stock price will ultimately take care of itself. But obviously, when you've seen a period of time of declining multiples and declining interest in healthcare, it does make it a lot tougher. I think the questions get tougher then. I think people push back more on the management's philosophy and even their credibility when the stock price isn't working. So I think that's part of it. Last year we made the largest acquisition we've made in over 10 years, the $2.6 billion acquisition of EV3, and that did create a lot of questions. It was a very, very expensive acquisition. We understood that, and I think people pushed back on that. Luckily, so far, it's gone extremely well, and I think, though, making sure that the investment community understood why we did it, why we paid what we paid for, brought us a lot of credibility. If you ask people today, just 9 months after we announced that deal, about how they think of it versus how they think of it the day that it was announced, I think overwhelmingly you'd see much more of a positive commentary. I think some of that comes from not as much me, but our management team getting out there and really explaining over and over again exactly why we did it. One of the things that we haven't done historically is an outreach beyond the U.S. and Europe. So one of the things that we're probably going to do, because we've had such incredible growth, not only from a product and a business standpoint, but also from an investment standpoint in emerging markets, particularly Asia ex-Japan. We're going to be doing a little bit more with investors, both U.S. investors and international investors, and taking them to see some of our facilities and some of our investments there. Other than that, we just announced last week the succession of our CEO. Our CEO announced he's retiring in July, so we've got a brand new CEO who's not new to the company at all, but new to the role. And so there's a lot of interest. Anytime you have a management succession event like that, there's a lot of interest in what that means from a philosophical standpoint, from an investment standpoint, and the message we've given so far is that you're not going to see a lot of changes, but you've got a new person in the role. Certainly he will bring his own different style to things, and I think that's going to manage a lot of what we're doing in investor relations, certainly over the next 12 months.